Hello, today I'm going to talk about a rotated hip and how you may be able to fix your hip if you've got the situation going on that it's rotated. And rotated means one hip is either forward or back in its orientation to your spine and your legs. So an indicator of it may be a short leg or a sciatic pain. So in this therapy that I use for that, there's the noodles, and I'll show you two sizes of noodles, swimming noodles. And there's the small one and the larger one. And so what you would do is take the noodle and put it on the floor or the table or your bed, depending on what you got. Anyway, you don't want it to be a hard surface where it's too abrupt for you to function with this, but what I'm saying is a soft surface. So I'll start with the smaller one first, and what you would do is lay on the table, and notice when you're laying on the table, my back is on the table and it's also pushing on my pelvis on each side, so it makes them even. So when they're even, your symptom goes away, or it doesn't manifest correctly. So what you can do is put this noodle right under your sacrum and hold it there. And when you're elevated up on the sacrum, your pelvis is no longer on the table, and you can get a better reading on whether your hip is rotated or not. So just sitting on the noodle alone isn't enough to usually fix it. It may, over time, just an exercise routine using the noodle can settle down the hip, but normally it's got to do with your pubic bone, and maybe your lumbar is out, holding your pelvis in the wrong position. But if it's just muscles, this is going to be really effective just by yourself, and you won't need as much help from a therapist. But what you can do is just take your leg, since the pelvis is off the floor, take your leg, and this will rotate your pelvis into movement. You can do the other leg, and then you can also go sideways with it. Anyway, you will feel it if you need it, and you'll know that it's helping. Now, in therapy, I will hold one side of the hip and engage the muscles, pushing down on the hip at the appropriate place by assessment, trying to find out, which side is high and which side is low, and then helping the pubic bone to release and helping the pelvis move into the correct position. Some techniques on getting the pelvis to release involve, and you've probably seen this before, another noodle or a ball where you take it and I'm going to move to the bigger noodle, where you would just lay on, excuse me, that was crazy. Alright, so my hip is off the table, you can see that, and I'm on my sacrum. Each pelvis can rotate now to its own pressure. take this noodle or ball, and you can squeeze this ball or this noodle, squeeze it, and then rotate. Yep, I just got a pretty good crack out of that. So, that's some techniques that I use to help my clients feel better and get them back to functioning if their pelvis is out and they're in pain. And this relieves the pain. If you can get it, it relieves it right away, and a person can return to full activity without pain, bending over, tying their shoe, getting in and out of the car, and they're back to normal. Thank you.